The emergency beacon screamed across the void for 73 hours before the Terran Defense Force picked it up. By then, Dr. Sarah Chen had been running for 6 days. Her ship, the Meridian, had been conducting routine xenobiology surveys in the Kepler 442 system when they appeared, sleek vessels that moved like predators through space. The Veltar had found her research vessel isolated, defenseless, perfect prey for what their species called the Great Hunt. Sarah's crewmates hadn't lasted long. Captain Rodriguez, Engineer Walsh, Navigator Kim, all taken in the first hour. The Veltar were methodical, she'd learned. They preferred their hunts to last weeks, sometimes months. They had taken her colleagues to various moons and asteroids throughout the system, released them with basic survival gear, and begun their sport. But Sarah Chen was different. Where others ran in panic, she calculated. Where others despaired, she studied her hunters. The Veltar were apex predators from a world of endless forests and floating islands. 7 feet tall, with chameleonic skin and 4 arms ending in razor-sharp talons, they had conquered 17 species across 12 systems. Each conquest added new hunting grounds to their empire, new prey species to their grand game. They had made one critical error in their assessment of humanity. They assumed Sarah was typical. On the barren moon of Kepler 442c, Sarah had survived. Their first assault by collapsing a cave system, trapping 2 hunters beneath tons of rock. On the ice fields of 442d, she had used her knowledge of chemistry to create explosive compounds from the moon's methane deposits, eliminating 3 more. By the time the TDF battle group Retribution arrived, Sarah had whittled down her hunting. Party from 12 to 4. Admiral Marcus Kane stood on the bridge of the dreadnought Nemesis, watching the tactical display as his ships surrounded the Veltar vessels. The aliens had made no attempt to flee. In their arrogance, they couldn't conceive that prey might summon other prey to challenge them. "Admiral," came the voice of his communications officer, "the Veltar commander is hailing us." On screen, the alien that appeared was magnificent in its predatory perfection. Its skin shifted through patterns of gold and crimson. Its 4 arms spread in a gesture of casual dominance. When it spoke, the translation matrix rendered its words in smooth, confident tones. "I am Huntmaster Veltar Keth. You have entered our hunting preserve. Withdraw your vessels, and we will consider gifting you a quick death rather than adding you to our sport." Admiral Kane stepped forward, his weathered face hard as granite. "Huntmaster, you made a mistake. You took one of ours." The alien's predatory. Features arranged themselves into what might have been amusement. The small female? She provided adequate entertainment before we consumed her. Your species shows promise. Perhaps we will establish hunting reserves on your worlds. The bridge fell silent. Kane's jaw worked for a moment before he spoke again. "Huntmaster, let me clarify something for you. Dr. Sarah Chen isn't dead. She's down there on 442c, and she's killed 8 of your hunters. But that's not the mistake I'm talking about." The alien's confidence flickered. "Your mistake," Kane continued, his voice dropping to a whisper that somehow carried absolute authority, "was thinking that humans are prey. The Veltar had ruled through fear for 3,000 years. Their empire spanned systems. Their hunts were legendary, their dominance absolute. In all that time, no prey species had ever struck back. They learned about human warfare in the next 17 minutes. The TDF had sent more than a rescue mission. 3 full battle groups had translated into the system. 47 ships carrying the accumulated military might of a species that had spent millennia perfecting the art of killing each other before turning that expertise outward to the stars. The Veltar hunting vessels were masterpieces of stealth and pursuit. They were not designed for warfare. Human ships were. The Nemesis led the assault, her massive railguns turning Veltar vessels into expanding clouds of superheated plasma. The destroyer Wolverine crippled the Huntmaster's flagship with a spread of fusion torpedoes that would have been considered war crimes if used against human targets. The Veltar tried to run. They found their jump points blocked by human ships that had been waiting in the outer system for hours. The TDF had not come to rescue Sarah Chen. They had come to send a message. When the shooting stopped, 19 Veltar vessels had been reduced to debris and radiation. The Huntmaster's ship remained intact, but crippled, its crew trapped and helpless. Kane opened a channel to every Veltar frequency, broadcasting his message across their empire's communication networks. This is Admiral Marcus Kane of the Terran Defense Force. You took one of our people. You hunted her for sport. You called her prey. He paused, letting his words sink in. Humanity does not negotiate with predators. Humanity does not show mercy to those who harm our own. And humanity does not forgive. On the surface of 442C, Sarah Chen looked up as the human dropships descended through the thin atmosphere. She had survived 11 days, eliminated 8 alien hunters, and discovered that the universe contained predators far worse than anything she had studied in her laboratory. She had also discovered that when those predators threatened humanity, Earth sent something worse in return. The Veltar Empire lasted another 6 months. When the TDF fleets finished their work, 17 conquered species found themselves free, and the galaxy learned a new truth. Humans were not prey. They were the thing that hunted the hunters. Word count, 999.